Let's take a look at thermal fuses and how they work, particularly these small ones that are often sold online as being for fan motors, because I recently had the fan fail in a dehumidifier, and it turned out the little thermal trip had failed even though there was no sign of obvious heat. And it turns out that sometimes they can just fail with fatigue over time. So I ordered some and then decided to test some and also take some to bits. So if we take a closer look at this is that. It's the thermal fuse. It's a little plastic case, and in the bottom of that plastic case is a resin, high temperature resin plug with two wires going through it. And then if we draw the case around that, we've got a meltable solder link of a specific temperature that it will melt at, and then around that we've got flux. You can see the sort of traces of flux down here. So I thought it would be interesting to set up an experiment where I melt some of these just to show the alloy melting back, but also I will do an experiment where I put it on a hot plate with a thermocouple and we'll see what temperature it does actually trip at. So let's try that right now. Let's do a little experiment. This is a fairly standard miniature thermal fuse found in things like motor windings. This is the inside of that with the resin base and the wires with a bridging alloy between them. And this is it partially disassembled in the case, possibly with flux at the end. That's what I want to find out. So I am going to heat that up now and we'll see what happens. So I've got the soldering iron here and some solder, and we'll bring it in and we'll heat that and see what happens in the end. I can see it changing colour. Is it going to flow? I wonder if it requires both sides to be heated. Oh, there it goes. It did require both sides. What if I do both sides of that one now? Yes, it has. It's pulled back into a ball on both sides. So that's how those work. Quite simple. Okay, so here is the experimental setup. We have a hot plate here that is rapidly rising in temperature, and clamped onto that is a thermocouple with the thermal fuse on top. I tried it the other way around, the thermocouple on top of the thermal fuse last time, but it didn't give a good representation. It seemed to trip too early. That doesn't mean it's not going to trip at early or late this time. You can't get an exact representation of what the thermal fuse is seeing just with a thermocouple in its vicinity. It really has to be integrated into it. But anyway, this foam pad is pressing that down, the temperature's rising, and this pink LED neon type material is in series with that thermal fuse. So technically speaking, we're now approaching, thermocouple wise, the temperature at which that fuse should trip, which is about 130 degrees Celsius. But I'm expecting it to be a little bit higher than that because of that slight separation. It's not going to be an accurate coupling, with the thermocouple basically holding the thermal fuse off the platen. So the thermocouple is at 142 degrees Celsius and it's climbing. It was supposed to trip round about 130, but you know, it's still internally, it might not be at that temperature yet. And we'll give it a bit longer to bake. This is where, now I had the thermocouple on top before, and that meant the heat was being transferred through the thermal fuse, and it tripped really early at about 110 degrees Celsius. It is now approaching a very high temperature in that thermocouple. Again, it's hard to say. Oh, there it's just tripped. Okay, so 160-ish. I'll take this foam off now before it melts. Okay, right, let's get back to the main video. So an interesting experiment. The first time I tried it, I had this setup, but with the thermocouple sitting on top, and I found that the thermal fuse tripped way before the temperature penetrated through to the thermocouple. The second time, when it seemed to be tripping at an excessively high temperature, the thermocouple was at the bottom and therefore kind of spacing this away, so it wasn't an accurate test. I think for proper accuracy, you'd need to maybe sort of put resin to these together, sleeve them, and then put them in something that rose at a very slow rate of temperature, just so you got an accurate temperature of what the whole inside had finally tripped at. But it was still a worthy test. The first time I did it, it was with the thermocouple on the top. It showed that it was about 110 degrees Celsius on that side when it tripped. And the other test with it on the bottom, spacing it away, it was 160, and right in the middle is 130-ish. So maybe that is a rough indication. But there we have it. Be aware that if you have something, a fan with a motor, and it's completely dead, like when you test it with your test leads from the common to the different speed windings, it's absolutely nothing. The chances are one of these little thermal fuses has failed inside, and it's a cheap and easily available thing sold as a fan thermal fuse, and it's worth maybe just taking the risk of trying a new one in and just see if that fixes the problem, which is what I'll be doing with this in fixing that dehumidifier.